Let's face it, politics is an absolute joke. I'm Matt Richardson, and I've always suspected that literally anyone could do a better job of running the country than the clowns in Westminster. So I decided to put it to the test. Each week I sit down with a special guest who's suddenly and unexpectedly been elected Prime Minister and advise them on 3 policies they think will transform the country. Welcome to I Am Prime Minister. It's time to introduce our new Prime Minister to the nation. Prior to entering politics, he was best known as a comedian, a writer, and an actor. With his own stand-up series, Ian Smith is Stressed on Radio 4 and the highly acclaimed podcast Northern News with Amy Gledhill. He's got a new tour, Footspa Half Empty, on the way, but most of his time will now be spent running the country. Ian Smith, congratulations on your victory.
Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, we absolutely smashed him.
Yeah?
100% of the votes. It almost feels rigged.
It almost feels rigged, but look, if Boris Johnson can go from comedy panel show about the news to Prime Minister, I think you should be able to as well.
Yeah, I am on the same trajectory as Boris, worryingly.
Yeah. I think, have you come across many politicians doing things like the news quiz and Radio 4?
I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've met a politician. I did. I opened for Caroline Lucas, the Green Party leader. Like at the time, she had me and Alistair McGowan doing stand up at the Green Party conference.
What was that like?
And I mean, it was weird. Like Alistair McGowan was very funny, but he said something that upset people about air conditioning units. It's that sort of gig where like. He was sort of saying air conditioning, it's not that bad, is it? And then he sort of got booed, and the crowd turned on him. I found a video that Caroline Lucas had done, and the headline of it was Caroline Lucas on biofuels, and I said, sounds like she's off her face on drugs. She's on biofuels. No one seemed comfortable laughing at that.
No.
Yeah, just a weird gig.
Yeah, I can imagine. Look, the Green Party do occasionally have a slight humour deficit, I think, because I did a gig in Brighton last year. Hattie Ashdown, lovely Hattie Ashdown, made a joke about how she loves a reusable cup, but she always forgets them, so she just buys a new reusable cup every day. And this woman put her hand up and went, "That's really not funny."
But it is, and she's wrong.
She's wrong, and also, it isn't true.
Yeah.
Not to pick at the thread of comedy there, but that isn't, don't worry about it being true.
Yeah, before I come on stage, Caroline Lucas brought me on stage, but she come on and she said like this long thing where she's like, we've had a great conference and the polls are looking good. This is like they'd never had an MP at this point, and they were in the lead in like Brighton. They're like, but if we don't keep on campaigning, if we don't keep up this good work, this will all be for nothing, and we'll have no MPs, and we'll all be sat here kind of disappointed. But with that in mind, for now, let's have some stand-up comedy. And then brought me on. Yeah, she's not a good hype woman.
Not a great MC.
No.
Now, we, as you have won victory quite suddenly, we're going to go through some policies and work out how exactly we're going to implement them, what exactly we're going to do, and how it's going to affect the nation. So, can we hear your first policy, please, Prime Minister?
Yeah. You're allowed to chase your DPD drivers down. You're allowed to hound them in whatever way you want.
So,
basically,
if they miss a delivery.
No, this is en route. This is basically, you get that tracking thing,
yes,
and it'll say your delivery number, like 96, and but when you get to around 60, it'll say like they're on delivery 60, you're 96. But so many deliveries, you'll look and go, that's like a 5-minute walk from me.
Yeah.
Where he is on the tracking thing. Why can't I just walk to where he is and say, I'm Ian Smith, give me my stuff?
Have you tried
you're not
it?
allowed to do that. To be fair, no, I haven't tried it.
I wonder, because maybe, look, I mean, we're sort of going towards a place here where maybe the DPD van could park up somewhere. We're sort of moving towards a permanent location where we can pick a shop, basically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do see. Yeah, I see the issue there. But So we've got to make it not too much like a
No,
shop.
no, but this is like
So
if they're going to go past you to somewhere else first, you can flag them down and go, just do me first, please.
yeah, yeah. Or like sometimes on the next street, you just sort of think, right, okay, well, I think it's sort of up to you to catch it.
Yes.
The DPD driver, they don't have to change their route.
No.
Like if you're running over and just as you see the van, he gets back in the driver's thing and he's pulling off, that's on you. That's your
Just
problem.
like missing a
Uh,
bus.
yeah, but you know they're going to be stopping in like 2 minutes, so just keep running. So it's up to you the ramifications of this. But if you make it to the van, they legally have to give you your parcel.
I like this. I think this is quite an interesting policy. I have had some issues with delivery drivers this week. So I
Yeah.
bought a an 11-piece gardening set, and obviously in this gardening set
Wow.
there were yeah man, how life has changed. Um,
Yeah.
I
11.
Yeah, 11 piece, so like different bits. But as part of it, there were some secateurs. So the guy could
Mm.
not leave my delivery, and I was away. And he was texting me going,
Ah.
"I've got your delivery." And I went, "I'll just leave it on the doorstep." He went, "No, I need to ID you." I went, "Just look, open it and look. It's gardening stuff. I'm not doing that for knife crime.
Yeah, but is that technically
Yeah, they got to ID
if
you."
I was doing if I wanted to do a murder, I would order something like that, garden equipment, rather than like a set of knives.
Yeah,
Because I'd be thinking that as well. Like, there's no way they're going to think.
they're not going to.
Ian Smith did it because he bought an 11-piece gardening
Well,
set
you'd
the
have
other day.
to really get into the Radio 4 world of like gardeners question time and like really like
Mm.
live the life of a comedian who's into gardening to
Yeah.
really make sure it played out.
Well, I mean, this is quite grim, but someone told me if
Yeah.
someone breaks into your house and you attack them with like a baseball bat,
Mm,
um, if you're not like a baseball player, that's illegal because that's a weapon. It's not defense with a household item. That's a weapon.
yeah.
So what you've got to do is join a baseball club, buy loads of baseball magazines. You maybe have like your favorite baseball players and posters. You got to make it like this guy's all about
And
baseball.
then you can actually do it. Do you think you might be in the
Yeah.
pocket of big baseball here, mate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. They've
I should have
they've done a
disclosed. I've
really
been.
good job on you.
Yeah, I get paid £100 per podcast to go on to talk about
I did
baseball.
hear this as well that you can have a baseball club as long as you've got like a baseball and a baseball mitt with it, and be like, no, it's a set. I play in the garden. It's got to be for a
Ah,
use other than being a weapon.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well,
So I reckon the gardening stuff's easy enough.
yeah,
A
yeah.
couple of Alan Titchmarsh posters and a DVD or something.
Yeah, yeah, Charlie Dimmock on the wall. Anyway, this is a
Oh yeah.
massive problem. The delivery drivers in the UK, they are not getting
Mm.
anything right. According to Ofcom, 67% of people in the UK have had a delivery problem in the last 2 months. And there's been 27% of those are delays. Parcels being left in inappropriate locations is 23%, and the delivery driver not knocking loudly enough, 20%, or enough time to answer the door, another 20%. I don't think that's the issue. That's not the driver's issue. That is sort of the companies who are making them do ridiculous things.
This policy solves a lot of them. Not knocking loud enough. You don't need to knock if the person is at your van demanding the parcel.
Yeah, that's very true.
Um, the delays, we're saving them time
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
if a group, there's a big sort of running club basically of like 4 or 5 people. He's got 4 deliveries done in one.
Yeah,
He's speeding it
it's
up.
actually helping the
Um,
workers.
mm,
And do you think this is a policy that is close to your heart because you've had issues with this? Do you see this all the time?
I think it's just the window that I don't like. The window of time of like we're going to deliver your package between sort of 3 and 6
Yes.
because it never. I'm never just like always in for that time. There's always like right if it comes between 3 and 5, that's fantastic. 5:30, I'm probably going to either miss the package or miss my
Mm.
gig. But if we used my policy, at 5 o'clock. I
Is
can
there?
head to my gig via the DPD van.
It maybe there's a way this can work. So in the olden days of postal trains, they used to have hooks on the platform. So they'd drive past, and the platform there'd be a hook, and it would grab the postal bag for that town. So the train didn't even have to stop. So maybe
Ah,
we can develop as they're doing, charging and things in these sort of uh, charges that stretch over the road for cars. You could have a hook on there, and
mm,
there's a guy in the back of the van just getting them on the hooks as the driver goes past. So you don't even have to wait.
yeah, yeah.
Are you worried people will nick your parcels then as well?
Yeah, I do get. I mean, it happened. It's happened once where someone's taken a parcel, and I've seen it happen another time.
Really?
But that's it. Yeah, me and my girlfriend, we saw this guy just ripping open a box as he was walking down the street, and he found there was like a duvet in it, and then he threw the cardboard onto the street, and we thought he can't need a duvet this quickly
No.
that he's ripping it off in the street. So we, well, my girlfriend got the address from the box and knocked on the door and was like, could have the wrong end of the stick here. Maybe someone else who lives here, is desperate for a duvet, but we think we saw this getting stolen, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's definitely isn't us." So so now I'm paranoid, basically.
Yeah, that's fair enough. In America, it's a huge problem. Porch pirates, they're called.
Mm.
And there is a man online who puts fart bombs and glitter into fake packages,
Yeah,
and they
oh, I think I
set
might have
off.
seen that guy.
Yeah, that guy's a hero. Maybe we could have him as a spad on this. Bring him in, run the
Yeah, yeah.
policy, run the department. Because I think this is an issue, right? I live in a village now, and it's fine because people will take your parcels in. I've never had a parcel nicked.
Mm.
In London, I had a parcel nicked. I've had parcels delivered to the wrong house, and then when I've gone to get them, they've denied all knowledge, and obviously then that's a bit of an issue. But this is a problem, I think, in our modern world, that deliveries need to be more efficient and better for us. So I think,
Mm.
look, I like the idea that he parks on the corner like an ice cream van with a noise, and you
Yeah,
all just go and pick up your parcels.
let's get a song like an ice cream van. Get a song
Yeah, yeah,
that they
that
play.
good idea. Oh, stop! Wait a minute, Mr. Postman, or something like that in a lovely chime.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Signed,
and
sealed, delivered. There's plenty of songs we could use.
mm, and I think maybe if there's a guy, let's have two drivers. So we're creating jobs, and one of them, a bit like what you were saying with the hook, he's got like it's like a sunroof, and he's standing out of the sunroof. So then, even if it's driving, you can go, Ian Smith, and then they're sort of looking through because they don't have to stop, so they can keep driving. But as you're running after them, they can at least be going through it.
Yeah,
Then when they do stop, they drop off that parcel, and the guy through the sunroof gives you your parcel.
lovely.
Um, so yeah, we've doubled the workforce.
Yep, love that.
Um, there's no delays anymore,
Yep.
and we're also tackling the obesity crisis by encouraging everyone to run after vans.
We're going to move on to your next policy, please.
Okay. Um, yeah, so I think we should make a sort of Saturday night Ant and Dec hosted TV show out of basically making politicians tell the truth, like a sort of lie detector
Mm,
style, like lie detectors, fact checking, um, outing affairs, things like that, but make it into a big Saturday night show, um, entertainment, but also it sort of makes there an actual punishment for if you deceive the
And what
public.
kind of punishments are we talking here?
I think we'll do it maybe depending on the crime.
Mm,
So I think just things like the kind of fake news. If you sort of give a wrong stat in Parliament,
yeah,
I think maybe just like in a theme park where you get drenched or you get gunged.
fine. Humiliation more than anything really serious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I don't want it to be too much like Jeremy Kyle, but I think maybe outing affairs live on air,
Yeah, okay.
um, and we bring them all in and see what happens.
People would be more engaged in that than actual politics as well. If there was sort of real
Mm,
repercussions and people got humiliated, a kind of like, Fiona Bruce hosting I'm a Celeb sort of thing, or Ant and Dec hosting Question Time would be a really nice
yeah, yeah.
twist.
Someone told me this actually. I can't remember who told me this. I think it's true. Um, that when Matt Hancock during lockdown was caught on CCTV
Yeah.
having an affair. Um, maybe this is too sad an anecdote, but he, he apparently he woke up his kids at like 6 a.m. to tell them that he'd had an affair and that he was moving out, like because he knew it was going to be in the papers and that he was basically being kicked out of the house then. But it's already bad enough that you've had an affair. But why can't you just leave the house at 9? You waking your kids up at 6 in the morning to be like, I've been cheating on your mum.
Kids,
You're going to see
kids.
pictures of it. Yeah, just sort of gently waking them up and then straight
And
in.
they've seen too many
Um,
videos of people being surprised with a trip to Disney.
yeah, yeah.
Kids, kids.
There's no other reason to be woken up at 6 a.m.
I think these days politicians have become, things like affairs and scandals are less serious. Do you remember when they always used to have to
Mm,
apologise in front of their house with their wife stood next to them? I
yeah,
miss
yeah.
those days. With this show, I think this
Mm.
should be people aren't challenged enough. You must know this. You do topical news quizzes. You're on the news quiz a lot. There's just no repercussions at all. Even when Boris Johnson lied to the Queen.
Or even, like, I just think there must be a way. I guess, like, yeah, I remember during Partygate that there were so many instances when, like, Boris was asked, like, "Oh, did you know about this?" And he would say, "No, not at all." And then more evidence would come out, and he would go, "Well, I was made aware of that, but that wasn't." I think surely the truth is like just objectifiable. That you can just sort of go, "Oh no, you are wrong. That is a lie," and we're going to get it into the public's head with a big Saturday night, because really you only really believe what you read in the newspaper that you choose to
Yeah, yeah.
buy. So if like the Sun or the Daily Mail, which are a bit more sort of sympathetic, say, "Nah, he's telling the truth," then that's what you believe.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
who is more mainstream than Ant and Dec? You're
I'm
going to believe Ant and Dec.
I'm surprised we haven't had a slight Trumpification of our politics and someone like that has run. Because Ant and Dec
Mm,
would win an election.
yeah, yeah. As a and we've never had double prime ministers as well.
That would be great. Because, you don't need two people to read an auto cue. Maybe you need two people to run the country.
Mm,
That'd be ideal, wouldn't
yeah,
it? Yeah, that'd be good. I'd like Ant and Dec, or Rylan would be quite a good one to host it, I think. Get Rylan involved in politics.
yeah. Rylan is as well, like, and this is on me. My assumption when Rylan was first coming on TV was this this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a really smart guy.
Super smart, mate. He's really, like, driven. He's a savvy man.
Rylan's career is more impressive than Keir Starmer going from like chief of public prosecution to prime minister. That's
Yeah,
easy.
absolutely. We can have an ITV one.
Yeah.
There can be some sort of voting system. Let's get people into voting by using an app. That
Mm,
would be easier, and it's like a TV show. And then people will be engaged in
yeah,
politics
yeah,
finally. Because as soon as someone's all right on the jungle, like, obviously Nigel Farage or Matt Hancock, everyone goes, they're all right. They're fine, aren't they?
yeah. It's a big problem. Going on the jungle can make people forgive, I would say, almost any
Yeah,
crime.
pretty much.
I don't think there's a crime that anyone in the UK has committed that if they weren't really sort of good fun on the jungle, that people would be like, yeah, you know what, they're all right.
Look, I really like this. I think we're going to put politicians in a show like this. This is great. Prime Minister, can we have your third policy, please?
One day a year, um, children who don't go to private schools are allowed to make their way to, I'd say their nearest, but I'd also say any private school and just
Mm.
fuck it up.
Like in any way they want, really.
Yeah, I've sort of said that my rules are no fires and no murder, because I think with a fire you could sort of take out a public school in a day,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then this isn't sustainable anymore. It's much more fun to go in, just break stuff. All the desks, the blackboards are
Mm.
gone. It is a shame to not be able to utilize like the Bunsen burners in this, but I think we have to draw a
Yeah,
line
I
and be
think, we
reasonable.
can't go full purge, basically.
Mm,
And also, that none of the students will be there, so they're safe. They just have to come back to an
yeah,
absolute
yeah, yeah.
shit pit.
Yeah, they're safe physically, but psychologically they will have to return to their school, and it will be an absolute war zone.
Have you ever been in many private schools?
Only for gigs, like
Mm.
there's one in Dulwich. It's a really nice gig. I think it's St Allen's or something. But
Doesn't sound like a real saint.
yeah, St Allen.
Patron saint of darts.
Yeah, yeah. When do you think darts was invented?
I don't know. Like, well,
Would they have had it in not prehistoric, but like Jesus's
do
time?
you reckon rather than that, they're like, you don't need to hammer those in, let's throw them. We'll throw them
Yeah,
into his hands. We'll be absolutely fine.
that's how you tell darts has been around for ages. One of the pictures of the crucifixion, you see a guy just sort of doing it like that.
some
Someone shouting 180.
some big bloke.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely. I, the same as you, have been to private schools for gigs. I didn't go to private school, despite
Mm.
the assumption in comedy I might have done, because it's just safer to. When I was at primary school, we used to we had swimming lessons for a bit, and that was in a local private school. And I'd never
Yeah,
been in a pool that nice. It was
yeah.
insane how good this school was. And we'd go and use their facilities. Occasionally, they'd have an open day where it's like, here's what you could have won.
That's like what you're saying about the pool. That's the worst thing. They're so nice, but they also barely get used.
Yep.
Like so they're just like pristine. Everything is yeah. Like I've done a charity gig in Brighton for a school, and when I arrived there was like a huge pond. There's like a huge theatre, and realised it was a private school, and sort of had to go on stage and be like, "The fuck are you fundraising for?
Yeah.
Like a second pond? What am I doing here?"
Yeah. Also, I think this is an interesting policy because I think it will make people realise of the class divide, right? So a lot
Mm,
of people, when we're talking about the private school thing and adding VAT and they don't need all that money, they're like, well, but if people achieve, they want to send their kids to private school, you go to one, see what they've got, and see if you still think they shouldn't pay VAT on it.
yeah, yeah,
I did a gig at a private school in the southwest once, and I got there, and the guy, I rang him. It's huge, like massive site, beautiful, like gorgeous lawns and everything. And I called him. I went, "Hey, I
mm,
don't really know where I'm going." And he went, "What you need to do is park in the Equine Centre, and then you can walk
yeah,
across to what was a West End quality theatre."
yeah. That's the maddest thing. When you see a theatre in a school that's got a dress circle, what are you fucking talking about? A dress circle and an equine
Yeah.
centre.
He said as well that they, on the end of term, they had the guy running the gig who was a teacher there. They got permission, so they turned the field into a helipad, so people could fly down from London and pick their kids up.
Yeah,
Also, I think it would even the playing field. What you need to do is rather than going, you can go in and really fuck it up. You go, just go in and make it as shit as your school.
yeah. Well, yeah. I think maybe if we do this on a school day, the kids go to the private schools and they can sort of mess it up, fuck it up a bit. The private school kids have to have one day a year where they're taught by the regular teachers,
Yeah,
and they have to eat the regular food, the regular facilities. They've got all that kind of stuff. Because then I think the private school kids won't. Because the risk is these private school kids who all become like the movers and shakers of the world in high powered jobs, when they're in those jobs, they think, I tell you what I want to do. I want to crush the working classes
yeah,
because they kept graffiti in my equine centre when I was a kid.
mm,
And that so what you want to do is put them in the shit schools just so that they understand and they go, okay,
yeah,
I see why they've broken all the seats in the dress circle of our theatre because their drama studio is like a black box room and there's like chewing gum everywhere,
yeah.
and the teacher's having a mental breakdown every single day. Um, and they sort of go, yeah, fair enough.
It's really funny, isn't it? Because like many years ago, I went out with a girl who was quite posh, and they don't have any clue. So I went out with to the pub with them, and I was chatting to a friend, and they were telling me this story, and they're like, oh yeah, we used to go past on our school bus the state school kids, and we used to wave our wallets out the window at them, and like they're all laughing and like going, and I'm like, I was that kid. And also, like, even if
Mm.
I wasn't, that is a horror. Like, the fact you have so little regard for how different you are to everyone, or you're so happy about it, means that you deserve to not have a dress circle.
Yeah, I don't think I could hear that anecdote without saying, I'm just going to go into the toilet and put my own fist in my mouth and just bite down on it and silently scream.
Every story they told me, it was like, and the punchline is someone less fortunate
Yeah, yeah.
came out of it. Because you also get, you get private school kids like, we plenty in comedy who are lovely and are sort of
Mm.
very embarrassed about it. But there's a lot where it's kind of bred into them that they are better.
Yeah, it's nothing against some people do get very defensive if they've been to private
Mm,
school, and it's nothing against any individuals, but it is it is very unfair, and it can breed a bit of something about you that if something goes wrong or doesn't go your way in life, you can't cope with it as well because you're like, I always had a swimming pool and a theatre.
yeah.
Um,
Whereas if you've got to go and
so
fix your
just
theatre for a week every year,
all the tiles are off in the swimming pool.
yeah, there's a
The
turd in it.
And also there's less private schools than sort of regular schools, so there'd be a lot of people. So I reckon this is, and I'm not saying I do this, but I think this is what kids would do. The water's out of the swimming pool. I reckon like it's been 10 schools for one private
Yeah,
school.
probably.
That swimming pool's full of piss. It's just a piss pool now, an
Lovely.
entire piss swimming pool.
Yeah, definitely. And they're maybe that, and they can use it, but they have to use the damage for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
So the
they have to
facilities
swim
still
in
have to be
piss
able
for
to be
one term.
used, but the damage is what. So you're in the drama department, but there's no lights anymore. So you're doing your plays
Yeah,
in
yeah,
darkness. All those sorts of things, just to really level the
yeah.
playing field. Because of course, Eton has produced so many good actors when they have genuinely world-leading facilities. But Eddie Redmayne might not have been so good if he had to do it in the dark.
Yeah, and maybe that's worth adding in as part of their assembly at private school. They just at the end, like their motto, the motto of the school has to be decided by um, a sort of regular school. So it could be like, and remember our motto, everyone. For every one of us, there's 35 of the other people from working class areas,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're coming on Wednesday.
And once they're adults, they can kill you with your bare hands. So let's just
Yeah, yeah,
really make sure that we're polite and don't wear as many red trousers. Look, I like
yeah.
this. I think it'd fix education. It's a big divide at the moment, isn't it? This private school thing. So I think doing this really fix. And you'd think twice, wouldn't you, about sending your kid to private school?
Yeah, because you think, well, the fees are going to go up because you've got to repair
Yeah.
the equine centre all the
And I might
time.
as well send them to do an apprenticeship where they learn to fix lights properly rather than just have to do it every year anyway.
There'd be loads of kids who could do like plastering and plumbing
Yeah. I'm not sure I'd
just
want a
because they have
posh
to.
plasterer, though. That would be weird.
I'd think if a plasterer come round to my house and they were like, "Oh, hello guys," I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but
God, this
you're
ceiling's a
fired."
bloody nightmare.
Yeah,
Look, I think these are really interesting policies. We're helping out workers, we are definitely helping out politics, and we are evening the playing field of education, which I think is a very important thing to do. I don't think any of these are going to be an issue to sell to the public. Normally, when I speak to a prime
mm,
minister, there's one or two. A lot of them involve murder with comedians, if I'm honest.
yeah,
These
yeah.
are not going to be a problem at all. I think the masses will love these policies. I think they'll be popular. You can probably announce them at the Green Party conference next time you play it.
Yeah, well, yeah, if they bring me back, I'm going to insist on going on before the MPs doing their sort of depressing bit.
Yeah, I had one like that years ago where I did a little gig and I was the only one on when I was an open spot for this like a dinner for paramedics, and there's meant to be another act and they didn't show up, and they went on and did a tribute for their three paramedic friends who died in the line of duty, and they went, anyway, let's forget that, shall we, because now we have a comedian.
You can't just say something horrific and then say, "Let's forget that," though.
Yeah, it's all, yeah, anyway, everyone's crying and then I go on as like a 19-year-old
Yeah,
open
yeah,
spot in the jazz cafe at Reading FC. It was awful, so I really sympathise with that gig.
yeah, yeah.
But Prime Minister, these are going to be very simple to sell to the public. If the public want to hear more about you, where can they find out about you and your tour?
Probably Instagram is the best, at Ian Smith Comedy. But it's always Ian Smith Comedy on any of the socials. Um, and iansmithcomedy.co.uk, which has all the tour dates.
And why is the tour called what it's called? Foot Spa Half Empty.
It's a mixture of having to name a show in January before you've written it.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess my show is about my sort of need yet inability to relax and my sort of like pessimism towards my ability to relax. So yeah, all my shows have had like a one word title, and
Yeah.
I thought I don't want to do that this time. I bought a foot spa on Amazon, and yeah, here we are.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much, Prime Minister Ian Smith. We look forward to the rest of your term.
Yeah, I think I might be voted out soon.
Yeah, maybe. You've been listening to I Am Prime Minister, hosted by me, Matt Richardson, and produced by Matt Needer. If you've enjoyed the show, forward it to a friend, leave us a 5-star rating or review, or write to your MP. I Am Prime Minister is a Wild Ambitions production.